Grab your official Alpha Whiskey 6 shirt today by going to the link down in the description below. Sales for a limited time only and last only a couple more weeks. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Wednesday to you. So it's Wednesday, which, you know what that means. It means it's time to go through all the football games that are going on this week. Give you picks, predictions, who I think's going to win. Really just talk smack for, like 20 minutes or so here about all the games. We'll go through all of them, tell you what I think about each team, and tell you who I think is going to win. So let's go ahead and get started. First game up tomorrow night. Pretty excited about this game. It's actually a pretty good matchup. Thursday night game, Philadelphia Eagles, Carolina Panthers. So both of these teams kind of emerged, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but, I don't really think they were on anybody's radar screen as being, 4-1 and, at week 6, coming into the season. But I'm really impressed. Not so much with the Panthers. I'm pretty impressed with the Eagles, just given, their track record, which has not been as strong over the last few years as the Panthers, even though the Panthers kind of, took last season off. But the Eagles, Carson Wentz, I don't want to, start running my mouth too much, but the guy's the truth, all right? I mean, he's not, not Paul Pierce, you get the idea. But he can play, all right? He can ball. He's pretty good. Eagles defense is legit. You kind of saw hints of it last season, but it seems like it's finally come together this season. And also, Cowboys and definitely the Giants, as far as the NFC East goes, have kind of taken a step back, if not fallen off a cliff. So the window's kind of open here for the Eagles this season. So I'm really excited to see how that shakes out. The Panthers, on the other hand, some improvement. I don't want to be too high on them. I mean, I don't think that they're not the 2015 Panthers. I mean, I think some of these games that they've won they could have just as easily lost, but it's an improvement from last season. There's no question about that. I get the Eagles winning this game. I think the Eagles are onto something. I really want to see what that team's going to do. I think offense with Carson Wentz, their defense has been strong. I got the Eagles winning this game. Good for them, by the way. Eagles have been kind of out in the woods the last many years, so it's good to see that they finally got something together. Next game up, Miami Dolphins, the offensive line. Oh my God, the guys, whatever, I'm not going to get into that. You can Google that. And the Atlanta Falcons, the Falcons lost, right? It was either last week or the week before to the Bills. The Dolphins aren't crap, all right? The Dolphins, they kind of suck. Okay, they're pretty bad. Atlanta Falcons, on the other hand, I don't know what to make of this team, because the biggest thing they have going for them is they're fast. Everybody flies around the field on offense and defense. It's just after you lose a Super Bowl the way that they did, you can't be the same. You just can't. I mean, even though the personnel is, everything top to bottom is pretty much the same. All the main pieces are still there. I don't feel like you're going to be hearing from this team again. They're going to choke down the stretch here. But it's good enough to beat the Dolphins. I mean, really what it leads into is who's coming out of the NFC this year. I mean, I think the strongest teams in the NFC. I mean, it's really like last year I thought the NFC was strong, whereas this year it's pretty weak. I mean, I think the AFC is just loaded. I mean, you look at, obviously, Patriots, even though they've had some struggles on defense, the Chiefs, obviously, Raiders, Broncos, doing well, Steelers, a lot of those teams, most of the AFC is pretty darn good this season. But I wouldn't include the Dolphins in that. But Falcons, it should be enough. It's enough to beat Miami, but still, I don't have any confidence in that team at all. Maybe I should, but I don't. I got Falcons winning this game. Next game up, Chicago Bears 1-4, Baltimore Ravens 3-2. The Bears suck. The Chicago Bears, if you think about it, have never had a quarterback. Ever. They've really, come on, when have they been all about the quarterback? When have they had a strong, forward passing, legitimate, you get the idea. When have they had a legitimate air threat? Like, when have they been about throwing the ball and having a strong quarterback? Pretty much never. They've always been able, either one of two things, running the ball or their defense. It's pretty much been, they've never really exclusively had to depend. They've never done well with a really strong quarterback exclusively. That's never been the case with the Bears. Mitch Trubisky, depending on what you think on him, I think he's pretty good, but Chicago's going to find a way to screw that up because they always do, always have, forever. Ravens, on the other hand, I don't know what to make of this team. I thought I was really high on them going into the season. I thought they had, some strong showings. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens is a team that's always been physical, hard-nosed. Whether it's, I don't want to say Ray Rice, but Ray Rice. Ray Lewis, and again, another, man, they've had some real winners on that team. But you get the idea. Just they've had, is Terrell Suggs still playing? Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Hold your horses here. Yeah, 35 years old, still playing linebacker. Holy cow, that guy's, yeah. Him and, the only one who's older than him that's still going at linebacker, which linebacker's a position is just so physical, you don't last. I mean, you just throw your body in front of people every game, pretty much every down. What's his name on the Steelers? Is it for some reason I want to say Rodney Harrison, but I'm not talking about Rodney Harrison. I'm talking about, oh god, why can't I remember the guy's name? Oh man, all right. James Harrison, there you go. Screwing up with Rodney Harrison. 39 years old, still playing linebacker. Good for him. That's pretty much the most Steelers thing ever. Just the guys who should have retired. 39, 40 years old playing linebacker. Tremendous. In any way, so I thought the Ravens would be better going into this season, and they got their doors blown off in London, and ever since then, if you lose, it was like 40-9 or something, you don't really recover from that. I mean, you're still, to allow that to happen in a game, if it was like 30-15, fine, but 40-something to 9, or whatever the exact score was, I can look it up. I don't want to be making this up on the spot here, but it was bad. 44-7, even worse. My bad. I don't know where I got the 9. 44-7. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in that team, but that's good enough to beat the Bears. So really, both of those teams really not my focus. Next game, probably in nobody's, but next game up, Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans. How are the Cleveland Browns still 0-5? How is the team? Oh, they should be. I mean, I understand they're the Browns, but how are the Jets, who tried as hard as they could to tank and got rid of all their good players, got rid of everybody, cut everybody, and the Bears really try to improve, find a quarterback, draft some defensive players. Myles Garrett, who got hurt, I know. But still, how can a team that tried to do everything they could to be better be 0-5, and a team that tried to do everything they could to suck and get the number 1 draft pick, or at least a high draft pick, be 3-2? How does that make any sense? Yeah, it's because it's the Jets. That's probably why. But anyways, I don't know how they're screwing this. I don't know how they're screwing up this badly. Texans have just been. Texans had a strong defense, but everybody's hurt. J.J. Watt's done for the year. Clowney hurt. You go down the list, they're all hurt. So yeah, I mean it's kind of just two sad stories over here. But anyways, that's more than enough to beat the 0-5 Cleveland Browns. Next we have Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. So the Packers, kind of sick of. I don't really care for the Packers. It's just it's an annoying story. All right, either win or lose. Don't be down 30-0, and then pull plays out of your where the sun doesn't shine. Start running all around the field, throwing Hail Mary. That was fine the first few times Aaron Rodgers did it. Now it's like just win or lose. Enough of this, you put on ESPN the next day. Oh, and Aaron Rodgers, the most unbelievable. It was unbelievable the first few times. Now they're just either they're good or they're bad. Like if you're really that good, you should be able to just win. You shouldn't have to come behind from the Cowboys every week. They're in different divisions, but it feels like they play every 5 minutes. I'm just sick of hearing about that. Anyway, yeah, so I've kind of had enough of that team. 4-1. That's the kind of team that's gonna, I feel like, not implode. They're too good to do that, but they're the type of team where come the end of the season, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, the Eagles, for all I know, just the real gatekeepers of the NFC will kind of have their act together, and the Packers won't. That just seems like what typically happens. So instead of blowing it at the beginning of the season, they're probably going to blow it at the end. I just feel like, look, and I know that's kind of biased, but look, running around the field, pulling plays out of your rear end is not sustain. You can't do that every week, right? Because eventually it doesn't work. Like last year against Atlanta, they ran out of gas. So, I mean, that only takes you so far, and I'm kind of sick of it. So, and then the Minnesota Vikings, on the other hand, the whole team is the defense. Tremendous defense. And other than that, that's pretty, I mean, you know, I thought Adrian Peterson, when I saw it popped up yesterday that he got traded, I thought, oh, he's going to go back to the Vikings. So it just seems like the type of thing that would happen, but instead he went to the Cardinals. But not that anybody should really be that crazy about Adrian Peterson. But I don't know what their offense. It feels like if they just had just a little bit more, they'd be. And they've kind of got like that choking DNA. Like it's just something that they, whether missing the field goal a couple of years ago against Seattle. Just you go down the list, it's a team that doesn't seem to show up at the end of the year. But I feel like their defense is good. Their stadium's gorgeous. Not that has anything to do with anything. And I feel like their offense just had a little bit more, man. Probably if their quarterback, wasn't who he is. Maybe that would be it. But I don't know whether to put that team in the top tier or not. I think they're pretty good. But I got them beating the Packers because enough out of the Packers, enough of them. Nice game up. Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints. Lions 3-2. I got the Lions winning this game. Tough loss. I thought last week to God, why am I forgetting this? To the Panthers. I thought the Lions should have won that game. The Packers and the Panthers are two teams I've had enough of. I'm just tired of these two teams. You get to the postseason, they're both going to choke. I'm just tired of their act. I really am. Because they're cocky. The Panthers much more so than the Packers, but just that whole shtick, it's got to go. But anyway, so the Saints, I'm not gonna say their defense is better, but I guess, okay, it sucked, but I really, this is one of those situations I don't really want to say too much. I don't really want to say too much because it's not. I guess they're better. I don't want to say that it's all fixed. I just feel like outside of Drew Brees and, throwing deep balls, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I think the Lions got more to show than the Saints. These are just, I don't know. You see, because here's the thing, and I guess this is kind of why I'm, kind of at a loss for words about it. People always complain, in the NFL, well, really not so much in the NFL, but especially in the NBA, but it happens in the NFL, about parity. Everybody wants more. They don't want teams just, going 11-0 to start the season and other teams going 0-11. Because you want to be able to tune into a game and there should be a reasonable chance, theoretically, that either of the teams could win. There shouldn't be just blowouts every week. It's like in basketball, that's why everybody ranks on the Warriors and the Cavaliers. Really more so the Warriors than the Cavaliers. But this season, remarkably, there's been, I don't remember an NFL season where there's ever been more parity than this season. Every team that was 1-0 after week 1 was pretty much 1-1 after week 2. It was just, it's that kind of season, so these blanket statements you can't really make because you don't really know what's going to happen, which I guess is a good thing. But anyways, in terms of this game, I think Detroit's got more to bring to the more cards to bring to the table than the Saints, who traded Adrian. Not that he's helped at all, but I got the Lions win this game. Nice game up. If you told me at the beginning of the season that the New England Patriots and the New York Jets would both be 3-2 in Week 6, I'd laugh. There's no. You think like the Jets got rid of everybody, cut everybody, trying to tank, trying to suck, trying to be, 1-15, 0-16, get the number 1 draft pick to try to rebuild. And being the Jets, of course they screwed that up. Of course somehow they're winning and got better by getting rid of everybody. Like they tried to lose and somehow they're doing better than, a season ago when they were trying to win. So yeah, that's only that could happen to the Jets. And the Patriots, on the other hand, their defense has sucked. Their defense has been rubbish, except last week. Last week they improved it. So through 4 weeks, it was a dumpster fire, that defense. Really, what I think it had to do with is communication and Stephon Gilmore not knowing what the hell he's doing on that team. If you watch some of the highlights, just running, blowing his assignment, running over to some other guy, leaving his guy, which is in last week against the Buccaneers, they pretty much played man-to-man exclusively, and they said, all right, Gilmore, I see that guy, you go cover him, which I think is what he did best. And he had a really good game, I thought. He looked like, he kind of played to his, what he's being paid, at least, for the most part. And being the Patriots, because the Patriots, I think the last, in like the last 20 years or whatever it's been, every time they've started 0-1, they won the Super Bowl. The last time they started 2-2, they won the Super Bowl. I'm not concerned about them. And last week, it showed you that they're, improving. The defense is already a whole heck of a lot better than it was. And they'll start, working out the kinks. The Jets, on the other hand, I already kind of talked about them there. Of course, that's the most Jets thing ever. You try as hard as you can to lose and tank, and you have a horrible record, so you get top draft choices, and you somehow screw that up and you win. Like, you do better when you're trying to do worse, which, of course, that happens to the Jets. I think really more than anything else, the reason for that is they got rid of all the dead weight that's been just dragging down the Jets roster financially and as far as what you see on the field, as far as that goes. Just the, Revis, Marshall, just the people who've been there forever that really are just coming to get paid. Getting rid of all of them and having young guys out there who actually want to try to do something, I think is what, whether it was intentional or not, is pretty much the improvement. Anyways, been talking about this game way more than I should. Of course, the Patriots are going to win this game. You freaking think the Jets are going to win? You kidding me? I got the Patriots winning this game. Next game, San Francisco 49ers, who are also 0-5. Good God. Oh, man. The Redskins, who are not 0-5. I got the Redskins win. Is this even a conversation? Of course the Redskins are going to win this game. You kidding me? I really like the Redskins. I thought the Redskins have looked really good this season. Looked better than their record. I think they could have beat the Chiefs a week or two ago. I think, I think they've looked good. I think they're a pretty good team. It's definitely enough to beat the hopeless 0-5 San Francisco 49ers. Next game up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were 2-2. Arizona Cardinals 2-3. So Adrian Peterson got traded from the Saints to the Cardinals for a conditional draft pick, which is, what a fall from grace. I think there's other things to look at other than that. But you can look it up again. You probably don't want to, but you know what Adrian Peterson did. Awful. So, not that that's really going to help the Cardinals that much. I think Carson Palmer's been washed up. Larry Fitzgerald, by the way, gotta love Larry Fitzgerald. What a baller. Guy's awesome. It's been awesome forever. And then, I think that it was kind of a flash in the pan, the couple, seasons there. It was like 2015 and then 2014 and 2015. There were a couple seasons there where the Cardinals showed up in the in the playoffs. They had a little run, but other than that, they've kind of sucked the last last year and this year. And I don't usually that's kind of what I look at when I figure out who's going to win. Is this a team on a winning path with winning players with a winning mentality? I don't think the Cardinals are that. I think that the Bucs, on the other hand, Deshaun, man, I am all over the place today. I think don't really look at look at last week against the Patriots, because that was a game the Patriots had to win, and the Patriots are better. But we almost said Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, good God, quarterback of the Buccaneers. I think it's really good. He tries to throw the ball downfield way too much. I've noticed. I don't know. I'm sure other people have noticed that. I don't know why. The plays aren't there every time he does it. But I feel like that's a team that's going to be up and coming here. And I feel like the Cardinals are kind of been on their way out. So I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this game. Next game up, LA Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars. Both teams are 3-2. The Rams. Yeah, I got the Rams winning this game. Not that they're good, just somehow they've been making it work. I don't really, again, like the Rams. If you just go through all the teams that are completely, for better or for worse, not, like, completely not what we thought they were going into the season. We can go down the list here really quickly. Eagles are much better than everybody thought. No question about that. The Browns are, that's pretty much what people thought. Packers is better than what people thought. Saints, much worse than what people thought. Jets, unbelievably better than what people thought. I mean, I thought they'd be 0-5 at this point. Patriots, they're going to at least the AFC Championship. They've been in the AFC Championship game for like 7 straight years. I mean, I'm not going to really kind of doubt them. 49ers, much worse than everybody thought. Buccaneers, Cardinals is pretty much what people thought. Rams, much better than everybody thought. Steelers, worse than everybody thought. Chiefs, a little bit better than what we thought, but the Chiefs were kind of good coming into the year. The New York Giants, they were like ranked like 2 and 3 power rankings coming into the year. Now they're down like 31. Good. They are really, talk about a fall from grace. They are just, a much, like on a different planet than what people thought going into the year. But anyways, that's just, what's that, like 4, 5, 6 teams or so there that are completely not what we thought they were. Which I guess is good. You want to have that parity there. But anyways, the Rams, I'd say, I guess they're one of those teams. I mean, whether, you could kind of blame other things for that. But 3-2, that's legitimate. A lot of teams are 3-2. That's it's got a lot of teams 3-2. A lot of parity. I guess that's an improvement. Jacksonville Jaguars, on the other hand, that's a team. I don't think I've ever picked them to win unless they were playing the Browns. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know about the Jaguars. So I got the Rams winning this game. Next game up, Steelers and Chiefs. The Steelers, Big Ben threw 5 picks last week. Everybody said it's time for him to hang it up, retire. They're just been doubted left and right, up, down, and center. And it's a team I thought, and they do have the players. They do have the players to play much better than they've been playing. The Steelers are a team that does that. They've got like 3 games a season where they just suck for, I don't know why. They just don't show up. No, I'm not talking about losing. I'm talking about just being really bad in like a couple, 2 or 3 games. And I think last week was one of those. Big Ben throwing 3 picks. I mean, he's not retiring at least yet. And as long as that's the case, he's going to, try to blow doors this week. The problem is you're playing the Chiefs, who, that's pretty much, that's kind of what they do, being 5-0. The Chiefs are a team, though, kind of slowly, over the course of the last 5 games, some airs come out of the balloon. I think that, with injuries, pretty much, I guess, injuries more than anything else. Also, just Andy Reid doing Andy Reid stuff, whether it's clock management, which he's done a better job of, but that kind of always shows up. And they just, I don't know. I got a ton of respect for the Chiefs. I got a ton of respect for Andy Reid, but that's just, when you're really good at the beginning of the season, you kind of fall apart at the end of the season. Whereas some teams, most teams, struggle at the beginning, figure out what their weaknesses are, improve, and by the end of the season are really good. So it seems like the trajectory the Chiefs are on is kind of unfortunate. But I got the Chiefs losing this week. I got the Steelers winning this game. They need this game. And the Chiefs, I just think that you can only hold that together for so long. And anyways, got the Steelers winning a close game, by the way. But also, you can make the case the Chiefs, for a number of reasons, but one especially the way that they lost last year in the playoffs, like that goal line, Antonio, like that whole thing that happened. Just what a heartbreaking way to lose. There's a revenge factor here, but anyways, I got the Steelers winning this game. Next game up, Oakland Raiders, LA Chargers. Get the Raiders. We got injured Derek Carr. No, I got the Chargers winning this game. This is a week the Chargers win. I feel like the Raiders, the injuries, the Raider-ness that's kind of inherent with that team. Look, Derek Carr being hurt, whether he plays or not, that's a big deal because he's kind of the lifeblood of that team. Chargers 1-4. They're going to be better than 1-4. I got the Chargers winning this game. Next game up, New York Giants, Denver Broncos. Where is this game? That kind of makes all. If it's in New York, I got the Giants win. If it's in Denver, I got Denver win. Feels like every game's every game's always in Denver. I don't know why. It feels like every game's in every game that matters, every game of consequence is in Denver for some reason. Always seems that way. So yeah, I get the 0-5. They can improve, but at this point, going into Denver 0-5, season's gone. yeah, I don't see the Giants winning this game. I just don't. I mean, I think the Giants' final record, so if they fall to 0-6 after this week, I can see them winning like... I can see them being 8-8 on a good day. I think that's kind of best case. Maybe 8-8, maybe 9-7. That's probably the best they can do. I feel like they will get it together, but it's pretty much gone for them now at this point. Last but not least, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, Monday Night Football. Yeah, God. Both 2-3. Both kind of suck. I got the Colts winning this game. I think AFC South, I always screw up the Jaguars and the Titans. I kind of always think of them as being the same team. And they've had almost identical performances over the last bit of time here. Colts, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he's not Cam Newton. He's not Russell Wilson. He's not any of those guys. But he's is Andrew Luck playing yet? I mean, is this guy Andrew Luck and Teddy Bridgewater? Are these two guys ever coming back? No, he's still out versus the Titans. I don't get it. Andrew Luck. I don't want to say I'm not gonna say a waste, but just what a sad career for Andrew. Andrew Luck's really good, and he just has either been on teams that suck, horrible coaching, or is injured. I think he's really good, but anyways, yeah, I got the Colts winning this game. Sure, why not? Get the Colts. So that's going to do it for Week 6, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you disagree, agree, whatever, down in the comments below. But other than that, until next time, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.